Hello again, guys. Welcome back to my channel, Tim Baldwin Magic. Got a tutorial for you today for a trick called Spectator Spectacle. I uploaded this video not too long ago, and I had a request to do a tutorial of it, and so that's what this video is. So if you need a refresher of what that trick looks like, the performance, go back, watch the video of the performance, come back, and you'll see how this trick is done. This trick is done, the secret to this trick is really very simple, and that's that this trick uses a marked deck. If you're into magic, if you do magic yourself, I'm sure you have a marked deck lying around. If not, you can buy a marked deck online, or you can do what I did and what a lot of you probably have done as well, and that is make your own marked deck. A marked deck, if you're not familiar, is a deck of cards where you can tell just by the back, by some secret marks on the back, what each card is. Now I can tell, for example, that this card is the 6 of diamonds just by looking at the back. So I try not to use a marked deck very often. There's really no limit to how many tricks you can do with a marked deck, but I try to use mine sparingly, only for a handful of really good effects. So the way this trick works is you have the spectator shuffle the deck. There is no setup to this trick besides needing a marked deck. So they'll shuffle the deck as much as they want, cut it into 2 piles. You can have either pile, and they'll go through, pick out a card, place it on the table, and I'll do the same thing. I'll go through, pick out a card, place it on the table. But as I'm doing that, as I'm kind of looking through my cards, deciding which one to pick, as I'm doing that, I'm glancing over here. I'm glancing at the back of this card and trying to determine what card this is. Now I can tell just by the back that this card is the 6 of hearts. And so I know now that that card, the 6 of hearts, is their card. And so I commit that to memory because I'll need it later. So again, while I'm just pretending to pick a card, I'm looking at their card, figuring out what it is. So they'll look at their card, show it around, remember it. I'll look at my card and just pretend to remember it. My card's the 5 of diamonds, but that doesn't matter at all. Just pretend to remember it. And then at this point, you lose your cards back in your pile. So I'll put my card back in my pile. They'll put their card back in their pile. I'll shuffle my pile. They will shuffle their pile. Again, I know now that their card is the 6 of hearts. We'll swap piles. And then I'll say, I'm going to try to find your card. I'm going to pick out 3 cards, one of which I think is yours. So I'll have them think of their card, picture it in their head, try to send that thought to me. Now again, I know their card is a 6 of hearts, so I'll go through just with the faces towards me. I'll pull out the 6 of hearts, and then any other 2 random cards. Doesn't matter. And what's good is that these cards can even be mixed up. You can turn around and the spectator can mix these up if they want, because you can tell by the back which card is the 6 of hearts. So they can mix these up, lay them in a row. I can turn back around or whatever, and I can tell just by looking that this is their card, the 6 of hearts. So at this point, I just kind of wave my hand over. I eliminate 2 cards and leave 1 card that I think is theirs. The cool part of this trick is that they do the same thing. I'll pretend to picture my card in my head and send it mentally to them. They'll go through, they'll pick out any 3 cards, one of which they think is mine, and they'll do the same thing. They'll wave their hand or whatever, eliminate 2 cards until they're down to just 1. At this point, I do what I did earlier and glance at this card. Now I can tell by looking at this card that this card's the 4 of spades. So I will say, what was your card that you picked at the very beginning? They'll say the 6 of hearts. I will turn over this card showing that I found the 6 of hearts. Again, after glancing at this card real quick, I know it's the 4 of spades. They'll ask me what my card was that I picked at the very beginning. I'll say the 4 of spades. They will turn over this card showing the 4 of spades. Again, they could have picked any card, but somehow they found my card, the 4 of spades. So that is pretty much it. Very easy trick to do. Again, the only secret, the only requirement is having a marked deck and knowing how to read it. So if you have a marked deck, practice reading it, and you should be able to do this trick and show it off to your friends and your family. If not, I would suggest buying a marked deck or making one of your own, because they are very useful. Like I said, I try to use mine sparingly, but they are good things to have. So I appreciate you guys wanting to see a tutorial of this trick, and I appreciate you guys watching this video here today. So that is it for today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.